Hey Legacy Builders, welcome back to Mind Your Money. In this video, I'm going to be doing my February 2023 budget reset, and I'm going to start off with reviewing January's goals, January's intentions, and January's budget. And then I'm going to just kind of give a little recap of how I felt January went based on the goals we set and the money that was spent. Okay. Then I'll jump into February and I'll show you on the screen how we are progressing so far based on our annual budget and then also with our 2023 financial goals. So I'm tracking how much money we're bringing in to use for income. So it's not the full income, but just a portion that we're using. And how much of that is going to our emergency fund, which is a top goal, and then how much of it is being invested, and then a portion of it is going into our short-term savings or our purpose funds. So if you're interested in all of that and resetting with me, I would appreciate it if you give this video a like. And just a disclaimer, we have some construction going on with a neighbor, so you might hear some hammering and some things in the background. This is the perfect time for me to film because it's without the distractions of my children, although I love them, but there may be some banging here and there, which I hope is not too distracting. All right, so let's get into January. Now, for January, I had 3 goals, which usually I do a top 3. And the first one was to be faithful and diligent. The second one was to build up our emergency fund and next month's bills. We were focusing on that. And enjoy every moment with my children. So out of all 3, I put check marks because I feel like I was faithful and diligent. I did put money towards the emergency fund and next month's bills, and we'll talk about the numbers in a moment. So that way you can understand why I put a check mark. And to enjoy every moment with my children, I have learned so much. I have grown so much just by spending not just quality time, but intentional time with them and being able to learn. I've learned new ways to communicate to my children. I've learned that I don't have to have mom guilt over everything, but I've also learned certain ways that I can communicate with them and talk to them and teach them things where it doesn't require money. And building generational wealth, which is one thing that we talk about here on this channel, it's not just about the money itself. Generational wealth is more than that. And what I want to pass on to them is more than just the properties and the businesses. And, there has to be a mindset of wealth and understanding and how to manage it, because as quickly as money can come into your hands, it can go away from it just as quickly. So I want to teach them things that will long past me being on the earth. So I want to see my grandchildren thriving in their lives. And so hopefully the conversations that we've had this month and the conversations that we'll continue having and the time that we spend together, like doing projects for school or just having a movie night and having open discussions, it gave me a lot of what I learned this month. It just gave me an understanding of how to parent in a different way, in a way that allows the children to talk and be themselves and gives me and my husband the opportunity to parent them better. Not by being their friend, but by being someone who listens well. I really am learning to listen well. That way I can articulate better when it comes to giving them a lesson that they've learned. So I think a lot of what we did this month didn't have to cost a lot of money, but I spent intentional time. And time and money are 2 things that we have to be good stewards over those resources. So I learned a lot about it this month, and that's why I gave myself a check mark. Remembering to reset is another one. I did remember to do that. And also, that's what we're doing right now. We're doing a reset now. So I'm so grateful for being able to get through the month and hitting each of those top 3 goals and exceeding some parts of it. So looking at the monthly calendar, we paid all of the bills we needed to. February's rent, though, is going to be paid from next month's bills. So next month's bills is an actual savings account that I have with Capital One 360. And the money that's in there, plus the money that we added in the month of January, is what's going to pay February's rent. So we can pay it, we will pay it, but I'll pay that in the next week. I'm recording this video on the 27th, ready to close out, and I will have the rent for February paid next week because we already have the money saved up. So that's how that works. Now let's look at the numbers. And while I talk about the monthly budget that I have written in this workbook, I'm also going to review and show you on the screen my annual zero-based budget and fill in the numbers and let you see exactly what happened there. So I think that might be nice to see too. The rent, again, that's coming from what we saved in February. Geico was actually, as our car insurance, that came up to $69.78, and YMCA was $98. Well, $97.93. So we paid a total of $167.71. So for monthly bills, the monthly bills, we budgeted $2,103. And after I added everything up, there was only one bill that was more than what was planned, and that was Spectrum. The Wi-Fi did increase, so that went up by $5. And not including the rent, again, for February, our bills, excluding the rent, came up to $696.84. So we were only over budget in one category, which I think was great. And now I know how to adjust for February because Spectrum went up, and now the $80 has to be bumped up to $85. But the good news is our utility bill for National Grid is actually $141, and in February it's going to be $4. For whatever reason, they sent me an email stating that the budget billing is changing and it's going to be $4. And then I looked at the bill. It looks like we have a credit or an overpayment of like over $900. So I'm going to pay the $4. I'm not going to try to pay more, but I'm going to send the difference between what we were budgeted on our annual budget, which again was $141. I'm going to transfer the difference to our next month's bills account to help us get a little bit further ahead of our bills. We're already 1 month ahead. The goal is to get to 3. So that was different. So with our savings, we budgeted to save $537 for next month's bills, and we actually saved $594.48, which I thought was good. And then purpose funds, we budgeted to save $200, but we saved $90. So we were under budgeted there. We were under budget there. Then for our investing, we were under by $100. We planned for $180, but we only invested $80 in the month, not including the dividends that get reinvested. This is just what we pulled from the income that we used. And so our total monthly savings was actually $1,014.48 because we saved more in next month's bills and we saved more in our emergency fund. So we planned to save $100 in the emergency fund and we saved $250. So I thought that was good too. And overall, in the savings category, we saved a little bit less than what we planned. We saved $2.52 less. So whatever we didn't save in our purpose funds or whatever we didn't invest went towards the emergency fund. Again, that's the top goal for 2023, so I'm not mad at that for right now. Miscellaneous is everything that could shift, could change. It's just, it doesn't fit in the savings category and it's not necessarily a bill. So groceries, we budgeted for $320 and we spent $170.32. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I have been diligent about scanning receipts through Ibotta and Fetch and Receipt Hog, doing surveys and things like that. And we were blessed with gift cards that we could use for groceries, so we didn't have to spend as much. And because we have a stock, I've been shopping in the pantry first, it caused us to spend a little less. But the groceries does not include what we ate out, though. We did eat out a few times in the month, and I did not include that in the groceries, okay? So I just paid back the credit card for those things, and I'll talk to you about that just now. Because for cash spending, we budgeted for $440 and we actually spent $500. Well, we took out $500 in cash to stuff envelopes, to do savings challenges, and to stuff some of our children's cash binders. So then we had our tithe, which is giving. We were under budget there. We budgeted to give 320 and we gave 287. Again, not including other giving that we do outside of what was budgeted. And then our family savings was not on our original budget, but we did save $3.58 to go there. Every dollar matters. And then for Quicksilver, I had to pay back the credit card from our incoming income to pay for miscellaneous expenses. Again, some of that including when we would eat out. Again, $4.19.02. So the income that we actually used in January was $3,089. So that's $1,111 short from what we planned. And when you subtract the bills, the savings, and the miscellaneous expenditures, that puts us over in the negative by $2.24. But I'm not mad at that. So that's where we go. And our total miscellaneous category, we spent $1,379.92. So that's $299 over what we planned because, again, we had some miscellaneous expenses. All right, so looking at the budget check, we had 22.5% of this income we used went to bills, 32.8% went to savings, and 44.7% went to miscellaneous, which includes groceries, eating out, other miscellaneous expenses, and our giving. So that's that. So that's where we ended the month. And taking a quick look at my 2023 financial goals, $3,089 is the income that we used, okay? And then we invested $45 into M1 Finance, $35 through my Fidelity Roth IRA for a total of $80, okay? $250 went to the emergency fund, a total of $90 added to our short-term savings, which are our purpose funds. And that means 3% of the income we used was invested according to this spreadsheet, and 11% went to savings, which is not surprising because, again, we're focused more on the emergency fund. So that's it for our January budget recap. According to what happened, I think the two good things is that we saved more for the emergency fund, we saved more for next month's bills, and we are going to be saving on our utility bill, which means we can bump up our next month's bills a little more. So hopefully when we end this quarter, we'll be like a month and a half ahead of all of our bills. That would be amazing based on my projections. One thing I didn't track in the month of January was my no spends. I did expense track every single week like I normally do, staying diligent, but I did not track what days were officially no spends. And I think that is something I definitely want to do going forward into February because it's motivating to see when you didn't spend money to encourage me to spend a little bit less unbudgeted money, right? Or unplanned money. Some of the things I did in the month of January that I think were helpful was I started letting my 5-year-old do savings challenges in his savings challenges for children's book. That is one thing that I'm enjoying because he's enjoying it and I think he's learning a lot and it's really helpful. The next thing is that my teenager and I launched this savings challenge book, which is available on Amazon, and he already earmarked one of the challenges that he would like to start doing soon. So we're going to be starting I think it's saving for clothes. Yeah, he wants to save for clothes, and he's a teenager, so I'm learning a lot, and I'm getting more understanding and how to be helpful to him. So the first challenge that he's going to be doing in February is this one. Let's go to the mall, because he wants to save for clothes. So we're going to be doing that for him, and I have this bill tracker that was for free until January 31st. And right now there is one additional bill that I had to add. It's an annual bill for Microsoft. So I added that, and I'm going to be using this again throughout the year so I can stay on track and on top of the bills. And I think what's helpful with this and what I'm seeing right now is that with this bill tracker, every time I list a bill that's due or every time a new bill comes up, I'll know ahead of time because I'll get an email notification or something in the mail, and I'll just write it in here. So by the end of the year, I can plan better for the year to come. So I'll know, okay, this is how much the bills were throughout the year. And then these are the bills that are only paid at what time, at which month. And then from there, I can figure out how much money I need to put aside each paycheck so that I can have the money next year so that I'm not caught off guard. So we have a few more annual subscriptions, annual bills that will come up, and I will fill them out as they're due. And then it'll give me a better outlook so I can plan for 2024. Next thing is I'm doing savings challenges. So I'm doing this savings challenge for your year to save 1,000. I'm doing the save my hourly rate. I'm doing mom's heart. I'm going to finish this Love Evolves challenge in February, and then I'll be moving on to, I'm also doing zero challenge. And then I'm going to move on to the $100 savings challenge that I hope you would do with me. If you're a member of Mind Your Money, you get all of the savings challenges that I'll be creating going forward, even some right now for free, basically, with the membership. It comes with the membership, and then we can do that together so we can support each other on this journey. All right, let's look at February. All right, so pulling out my annual budget workbook, worthy is the affirmation for the next 4 months, because the book is separated into quarters, and each quarter has like a word of affirmation where you can pull out of it whatever you need to. You can write whatever you need to. You can script or put stickers, whatever, to pull from that to remind you that you're worthy of financial freedom. You're worthy of being a good manager of your money. So looking at the calendar, I already put down all of the stickers, the expense stickers, which are bill stickers that will remind me when bills are due. So it makes it easier for me to do the paycheck budgets. I have payday stickers, but I decided to use these hearts instead, and that's what I'm doing for the month. I reminded myself when to work out, and we have two special events, including Valentine's Day, for the month, so I want to be focused on that. And for my vision board, I like how it turned out, because again, you can use this however you like to. I am using this to remind myself to work out at least 3 times a week, every single week. So I'm going to be doing cardio, and I'm going to do some beginner cycling, and then I'm going to do cardio again. Then I might just interchange it. I reminded myself that I'm always enough, and I have my meal plan here. So I like this vision board because it says here, set your intentions, you got this. And I reminded myself that to whom much is given, much is required. So you have to write the vision and make it plain, right? What you want for that month. Top 3 goals were to add to my next month's bill. So I want to add $2,014. So we're going to be working on that. Finish the Love Evolves challenge, and then also start the $100 challenge. It's a freebie for members, but it's available on my website for $1. I think it's $1. Forgive me if I'm wrong, for everybody else. And there's always a YouTube code in my description box of every video. So if you want to purchase or support support the channel, or purchase savings challenges or any of the trackers and digital planners from the website, you get 10% off, okay? 5% off, 5% anytime you buy something from my website. Just make sure to use the code in the description box. Now for February's monthly budget. We are budgeting for $4,200. Again, this is what I said in my annual budget, and I'm not changing that. I know that some of the numbers might change throughout the year, and that's okay. But this is how we learn our habits, and income is going to be increasing. So you have to believe that. So March, monthly bills. The monthly bills total $2,103. What is different? What I didn't do was I didn't decrease the National Grid bill, even though I know it's going to be $4, because if there is a surprise, there's going to be a surprise, and I'll be ready for it. If they say, oh, well, actually it's not $4, it's still $141. At least I have it already in the budget. But if it is in fact $4, and if we get the bill and we say, hey, the notice is to pay for $4, then I'll transfer that money again to next month's bill so I can be ahead, get further ahead. Our monthly savings, $100 to the emergency fund, $537 to next month's bills, $180 to investing, and $200 for our purpose funds, which totals $1,017. And then for miscellaneous, we're going to give $320, pull out $440 in cash for our cash spending, and $320 is earmarked for groceries. Again, I'm going to be utilizing every single app I have, shopping the pantry first, shopping the freezer first, building meals off of whatever we have in the house, and then just getting only what is necessary from the store, because eggs around my area are almost $11 for an 18 count of eggs. I'm ready to buy some chickens. Seriously, I think we should be buying chickens because eggs are expensive. All right, so our miscellaneous bucket totals to $1,080. Again, that does include giving, that includes the cash that we're going to pull out to use, and that includes groceries. So we do have a zero-based budget, $4,200 for expenses and $4,200 for the income that we plan to use. I have already filled out every budget by paycheck for the month with the categories that we plan to fund, and some paychecks we may be able to put more than others. Some paychecks we may not be able to put anything towards certain categories, but I thought this would make it easier for me when we're setting up the budget by paychecks, and then also when I'm filming it so it doesn't take as long, because I tend to talk a lot. So that's it. I already set up my first budget by paycheck for February, but you can see as I kind of flip through quickly that I've already written out the categories that we need to use. So, and for members only, I'm going to be sharing the net worth for January and how much we saved in our purpose funds and other areas, so that you guys can get that realistic look, because we're on this journey to building generational wealth, and I feel like it's necessary to have certain information only shared with members, those people who are either on the same journey or really need that inspiration, because I know you're not going to pay for something that you won't find value in. But we're going to be sharing our fire number. We're going to be sharing how much we're increasing that way, because again, we're building generational wealth. So we're going to talk about a lot of things more detailed, and not just detailed, but more specific information that's related to building generational wealth, that's related to the fire journey, for members only. So I think that's it for this video. I'm so excited for this, and I'm excited that I'll be breaking in my annual budget workbook, which is budgeting doesn't have to be complicated. It can be simple yet effective, right? Simple, intentional budgeting for financial freedom. So I'm excited to be using this for the first time. So thank you so much for being here. I'm glad that you stuck it out to the end. You are a legacy builder and a friend, and I'm so grateful for you. And I hope you continue to find value here. Continue to mind your money, you guys. Manage it well and live your lives abundantly. Bye for now.